What's up, everyone? Welcome back. This is Jason, and we're going to be doing a video right now on today's news. A lot of negative news today, and this is. I'm trying to do this without it sounding like a rant. It's just giving my opinion on stuff. It's like this is. It's news that's upsetting. It's negative to the entire wrestling industry as a whole. Okay. That being said, this is about all the cuts that came from TNA Impact today. They let go of a lot of people. Some were requested, some were not. Um, if we go over the list, now this list may not be final. This may just be the start of a longer list. We don't know. But so far, we're getting towards the end of July 3rd. It's 7:30 here where I am, where I'm doing this, Central Standard Time in the U.S. But this news has been coming all afternoon. So today's cuts from TNA are as follows: Taeler Hendrix, Gut Check winner. And yes, I said Gut Check winner, and that's going to be a bigger part of this as I go through this, so just bear with me. Joey Ryan, Gut Check winner. Crimson, Christian York, Gut Check winner. And Madison Rayne, former, I almost said diva, no, former Knockouts champion. Yeah, that's a lot. Now, normally this time of year, this is the time of year when you hear a list like this from the WWE, like post WrestleMania cuts is usually what we hear about this time of year, anywhere between April and June. Now we're hitting early July, but nonetheless, yeah, this is quite a blow for TNA. Now some people will say, no, it's not. These people are useless. Other people are going to look at this list of people and say, no, this was a huge loss. Everyone has their different opinions on this. Here's mine. We're going to go down the list and go through one by one, and we're also going to talk about the TNA Gut Check system and see how this affects that too. And I think this is going to be a bigger part of that in the future. But here we go. So, okay, so we got Taeler Hendrix, TNA Knockout. She's 24. She's 24. She's young. She's been in. Hold that thought. I've got some help here from my buddy Shadow. She's got to get in on the act. She had to help me make this video, so she had to get her 2 cents worth in there. Okay, back to TNA. Taeler Hendrix. She's 24. She's been in Ohio Valley Wrestling for a few years now. I believe since 2009. I don't watch it. Once in a while, I get the inkling to start watching it, and then I look at the roster, and I don't recognize anyone in the roster, with the exception of a handful of people that have been used in TNA sporadically. So I have no desire to watch them. They might have good product, they really might, but until I see something or hear about something, I have absolutely no desire to, other than I know that there used to be a WWE developmental system where a lot of big names came from. Not so much lately. Anyways, Taeler Hendrix, she's 24. She has decent talent from what I've seen. Unfortunately, these names that were cut today, not too many of them have been used well. We've seen her maybe 3 times within the last year, which is just a complete waste. It's like you promote this big TNA Gut Check deal. This is the future of your business, and you don't even use these people. The only one that's been used out of here at all out of this list that I just gave is Joey Ryan and Christian York. So yeah, then we got Joey Ryan was let go. He's 33. I think he's got a decent future in the wrestling industry. He's getting to that age where it's a little iffy, where he's considered a little older wrestler, but he's not a spring chicken anymore by any means. I think he's got a lot of charisma. I think he's got some talent. I think WWE might pick him up. Big question mark, though. Crimson, he's 28. He's young. He's got a lot of talent. TNA did a lot with him over the course of the last couple of years. They put him on this big winning streak. I don't remember what it was. 300, something to that effect. 300-day winning streak. Or 300-match winning streak. Whatever it was. Big winning streak. Almost made it sound like they were going to do another Goldberg thing with him. A lot of talent, a lot of charisma. Decent on the mic. Not horrible. Should WWE pick him up? Yeah, I think that's a talent that they should go after. I think they could actually do something with him. Christian York. He's another older wrestler. He's been around the block. TNA just didn't use him well. They threw him in some okay matches. He had an okay match with RVD and stuff like that. He's 36. WWE might look at him and say, no, he's past his prime. I don't think we really want to use him anymore. He was in a tag team 10 years ago with Joey Matthews, something to that effect. I think he gets confused with Joey Matthews a lot. They both look a lot alike, with the exception that Joey Matthews now is bald like me, as opposed to Christian York has multicolored dreads all over the place. But anyways, that's besides the point. I don't see WWE picking him up. I can see him maybe going to Ring of Honor down the road, maybe. I can see them picking him up for a short stint, maybe for about a year, maybe. And then there's Madison Rayne. She went to go have a kid or something to that effect. She just reported, I believe, a few months ago that she's pregnant. And they decided not to renew her contract. And she was a Knockouts champion a few times over the last few years. I think she was an okay talent, decent on the mic, okay wrestler. She had a fair amount of fans out there. 27 years old. Yeah, I could see, and unless this is her just wanting to settle down now that she's, having a kid and wants to get away from wrestling, I can understand that. She's starting a family. Call it quits from the industry. Could she show up somewhere else? Yeah, I think she's young enough, and I think she has enough talent that she could show up. Yeah, I think so, Shadow. I think she could show up in the WWE, or at least get a shot in developmental. Maybe train with Sarah Del Rey. Who knows? So, yeah, out of that list, I'd say Taeler Hendrix has a shot. Joey Ryan, yeah. Crimson, definitely. York, nah, I don't know. That's a big question mark. Madison Rayne, I'd say I'd say she's still young enough and has enough potential. Whether she's retired or not, I have not heard yet. But now, in looking at this list and hearing all the news, what does that say about TNA's Gut Check? Well, I went on Wikipedia on the internet and did a little research. The TNA Gut Check is just a little over a year old. So now, with these cuts and all that's been said about today's news, what does that say about TNA Gut Check? I'll tell you what it says. My first thought is it says that TNA Gut Check is a complete failure. I think they should just scrap the complete program. Does that mean that they should not use Ohio Valley Wrestling as a developmental? Possibly. I think they need to start fresh. They need to do something to look towards the future of TNA. You've got too many older faces in there that have been around so long, and you can only do so much with them anymore. Names like James Storm, Bobby Roode. AJ Styles, Samoa Joe. Namestays that have been in the company since day one, pretty much, with the exception of Samoa Joe. I think he showed up a few years later. But nonetheless, namestays that have been with the company for a good long time, 10 years and or close to 10 years. You got to start looking at the future. And that's what this TNA Gut Check was all about. And now you just got rid of almost all the successful ones. It started in April of last year, 2012, with Alex Silva. He was successful, and it's a name that I've completely forgotten about because has he been on TV? No. Is he on the TNA roster? Oh, sure. But who goes to the TNA website and looks at the roster every day? I know I certainly don't. Joey Ryan, was he successful? I'd say out of all the TNA Gut Check people, he was the most successful gut check person. They did the big storyline where they told him no, and then they brought him back as like an invasion story. And that was pretty successful with Al Snow. I thought that was actually pretty well done. He started his own YouTube channel and started ranting against TNA. I thought that was pretty well done as far as, getting TNA some outside attention. But now he's gone. So that's two people from the Gut Check that we don't see. But one that's still in the company, supposedly. Taeler Hendrix, she was successful. She's been used about 3 times in TNA TV over the course of the last year, and she's now gone. Sam Shaw, he's on the roster, and I don't remember seeing him at all. I think I've seen him once. But he was successful. He's on the contract. He's still on the roster. And then we got some ones that didn't make the roster. Chris Louie, he didn't make the Gut Check. Aaron, Marco, Evan, Marco Polo, whatever his name is. No, he was not successful. Anyways. Then we had Christian York. He was successful. Wes Briscoe, yes, he was successful. He's had some profile matches. He has not proven himself a whole lot. Kurt Angle seems to be all up on Wes Briscoe, and, well, now he's in Aces and Eights and terrifying the company. And then we've had, that was the last one of 2012. We've had a few in 2013 with Jay Bradley. He's been semi-successful. He's now in the Bound for Glory series, the BFG series. And I think he has enough potential to be a decent heel in the company. We'll have to see where that goes. One name that should have been given a contract, and yet they said no to, was Adam Pearce. I don't know a lot about him, but I know he does have a good reputation in the industry. I think they really screwed up by not picking him up. And since then, I believe there was a new one last week, something about the Big O and some other guy. I don't even care. Because after today's news, it shows that TNA Gut Check does not work. And they are not looking towards the future in this company. And they're scrambling now because this is a huge negative mark on TNA Impact as a whole. So, what should they do? I say scrap it. Bring in this last new guy and do something with him. You say you want to compete with WWE, and yet you're failing miserably. You're bringing in MMA guys that no one cares about. Do something, TNA. Save your company because it's failing fast, and today's news is a sure sign of that. What do you guys think about today's cuts? Who do you think might have a chance in another company such as Ring of Honor or WWE? So, for this one, Shadow, and me, Jason, thank you for watching. What are your ideas? Leave them below. Subscribe, like. Thanks for watching, folks. Have a good night. Part 2 is coming up soon.